There we have that one too. Where is my face? Do I have a face? There's my face. Okay, so here I am, and here you are looking at the segue gate. Again, the point of the segue gate being to load and unload, stream and unstream, etc. Now, for this to work, what I've done is I've added an arrow and 2 collision boxes. I've also added a wee light. I'll get rid of this other light because I don't need it. There we go. Just to make things a bit easier for me. Okay, so I'm looking at this. Now what I need is to open up my blueprint on this and get busy. So the only things that I've added that are new to this now are the box in, box out, and that arrow. So box in. I also have 2 text inputs that are set as arrays. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to get my box in. Okay, I don't want a reference to it. What I need to do is get box in, right click. And I want to call a collision from this box. So add on component to begin the overlap. Okay, for box in. Now, we can get a lot of information from this, but that's not really interesting. What I need to do next is get my levels to load. Okay, get levels to load. And inside this, I'm going to run a loop. Okay, so for each loop. So for every item in this loop, it's going to do a body. Okay, and we don't want the index, we want the array element. So it's going to be, let me see, load, stream, level by name. There we go. And it's expecting a text input. Yes?
This is for the wrong model, unfortunately.
Okay, we can send it back.
Yeah, this is for reverse. I've still got all of it, don't worry.
That's fine. Just stick in the thing, I'll arrange a return.
That's fine. In the meantime, can, well, I'll have a look upstairs for one of the actions we need.
Do, 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 do. Right, this is what happens when you change a variable. God almighty, it's checking every map. Why does Jeff Bezos' rocket look so much like a dong? Oh, it's so weird. Right, so there we go. That was easy enough. Yoink. Okay, so levels to load. Let's do the array for this. Get levels to load. Feed it into the array. Hello there. Now the element here is a name, and I'll just feed the name into here. It'll be visible after load. Right, now I need to just check and make sure the level is loaded. Before I go to the next one. Is level loaded? Okay. Do we still have access to this one? Is level loaded? Targets. Level streaming object reference. Okay, so this should be a reference to the actual level name itself. I'll take another copy of that. By the way, this is going to be slow, so just to warn you. Right, so it is level loaded. I want this to be moderately tidy because I have a lot of stuff that isn't very tidy, you know. No, that's fine. Okay, so what's going to happen is this is going to load the various stream levels, and when it does, they'll pop in. Okay, so next under this we have levels to unload, which should also be a name. Okay, and on component begin overlap. There we go. Bloody fly killer stinks. So next I'm going to get levels to unload. And for this one I'll do a for each loop again. Just connect these together, so it's going to go through the array and read the data. And it's going to be unload stream level by name. Okay, so compile, save. So we have two streams going in. Now I shall check this. So Level control. These need to be in a new group. Level management. Same with that one. Okay, so go over here. And I'm going to put this here. And then I'll make another one and just put it here. So for this one, Temo Workbench Stream 1, so that's the one being unloaded. Two. And then on this one, just do the opposite. 2 and 1. Okay, so we have 2 things in our stream now. Try it out. So that's loaded. And that one's unloaded. Loaded. And that one's unloaded. Load. Unload. Load. Unload. Okay, and we can actually put queues and things in this, I suppose. So it's probably a good idea to do so. Let's see. I want my BP gate loader. Oh, some Fireflies. Oh yeah.
Let's see if I can get this working one last time.
Are you sure? Because if it's not the right one, it's not the right one, it won't fit. And if you damage it, you can't return it, unfortunately.
Well, I'm not going to stretch into the tenors.
You know what I mean, though?
I mean, the thing is, I looked for Oculus Rift stuff, and apparently there isn't any.
Oh. Well, they
It's
must.
all Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Quest stuff nowadays. Okay, well, you know, give it another try, but if not, we'll send it back. Right, let's have a look. Okay, so we've got some little dudes here. I'm going to decide whether or not they should even be visible, because that's going to be based on personal preference. So, let's see. And we'll call this Fireflies visible. Compile and save, drag it in. Colorblindness we're going to use. Let me see. Pardon me. We are going to use blah 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 blah. Oh, branch. Okay, I've got a branch. Is visible. Sorry, no, set visible. There we go. Just get rid of this branch, so you can need it really. There we go. Saves me an extra step. Okay, so Fireflies visible. Okay, that's fine. So I've got Fireflies visible now. Control S, so that works. Okay, now I want to place it inside of my scene. And then I need to work out what's loaded and what's unloaded. So isn't that great news? So this is down to my blueprints. And here I should have whatever I've called this. Hope I've called it something sensible. I probably haven't called it anything sensible at all, have I? Common sense, not my greatest asset. I need that one. It's the gate loader. There we go. Okay, so I've got the gate loader. Okay, so I'm going to go back to blah, 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 recent. Don't need to go to Dreamlands. I want to go to day level 1. Oh, I'm back here again. Cool. Okay, so this is where we are at now. Okay, so this is the part where you've talked to Malin and you're coming down here. Now the gate itself will therefore need to be somewhere where you're going to have to use it. We have a part coming out of here. We have a part going into there. Okay, so as we go down here, here, and into here. Okay, so this is the walkway. The walkway will be visible most times, so we're cutting across here, and we should be able to unload something from memory. No. Can I stop them getting down here to all the 9? That's the question. Alright, so what I'm going to do is hide everything and work out exactly what I need. Select actors. None, huh? Get rid of that then. Keeper house can go for the minute. Landscape can stay. Lighthouse can stay. The observatory can go. NPC and animal there can go. Key can stay. Rock details large can stay. Block circle can go. Walkway can stay. Okay, so now I need to do the boring stuff. Docks. Unfortunately. So this is the loadings. Yank. Okay, so let me have a look. Section, day one, start an island. So let's see what's loaded and unloaded here. So, I need to increase my speed. Right, I can see there are some bits missing here. And the bits that are missing would imply, oh dearie me, that they are Cableway Island. Yank. There we go. So there's Cableway Island. Now then, that means that I am going to need to have Cableway Island. This will be loaded. Landscape. Lighthouse. Key. Rock. Details. Large. And walkway. So these are the essential core levels that need to be loaded in order for. Oh hey man, how's it going? Yeah, there probably will be actually, because I really like the Lighthouse movies. So yeah, man. You know, Willem Dafoe was fantastic for a start, and so was Robert. I've got a face shaped like a foot, so you know I've got no complaints whatsoever. I loved that film. Obviously, you can tell there's a lot of influence from it, from you know the fact that it's old for a start. But yeah, man, plenty of Lighthouse references in this, I promise. Sorry, I can't see what your name is because of the bloody window, which is white. Let's have a look. PM. You PM? Cool. My Prime Minister. Floppy hair. Lovely. Okay, so section 1, start an island. Now, I'm going to go over here. Boo 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 boo. Now, we're not going to go to any gates just yet, but when we do... Right, here we are. So, we come down to here. Change camera speed. Also great to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. Now, if I come over here... Now the whole idea is once you've solved the simple puzzle and brought stuff back from the island that's been lost, this bit will open. Now I can't use too much stuff here, but let me have a look. Gate loader. If I load up my gate loader and look in the viewport, there are some bits here I suppose that I could hide or unhide, so I've just got literally the gate. So let me just select them all. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, right, the easiest thing to do would probably be just to select bloody everything like that, except for the ambient dust. Now then, I'll keep that and that and that. Okay, so these are the basics that I need. Hello, son.
I'm just getting something.
No problems. Okay, so link graph, construction script. Bring these in. Link like that.
Do you know why she always puts her sewing needles or just pin ahead of them?
Remember to bring them back when you're done, bud. Okay, and I'm going to put an option in this that says simple gate. So, where is my variables?
I'm just going to see if I can't find one that's rift supported.
You're going to try and sew it into place.
No, so I'm going to go find one that is rift supported.
Right.
Because the one I bought is useless.
Well, remember to put it in the bag and we'll send it back. Okay, so here's simple gate. So I'm not going to, set visibility on this as well. So Control W. New visibility. And I'll change the name of this actually. Hide non-simple gate parts. Actually, no. Full gate. There, just so I can tell what it's going to be. Right, and now I've got to start just connecting these bloody things, all 12 billion of them. The whole point is that then we can put a smaller gate on where needed or a larger gate on. And it's going to be identifiable simply because it'll look the same every time, which eventually the player will learn is a kind of a cue that it leads to another area as well. So, what do you mean by having section loaded? Doesn't the engine use level streaming volumes to bring things in? Yes, it does. Okay, but to explain, okay, you are right. First of all, yes, it does use level streaming to bring things in. If I kind of use this as an example, right, so think of this as our main level where we are, and inside our level we've also got, other things, so this bit and this bit. Now I can tell Unreal Engine just to have these bits that I've got here and just to load them whenever, so these will always be loaded if that's the default. Now there's only two defaults inside of Unreal Engine, so there's a default, have it unloaded, and default, have it loaded. Now if I build a streaming gate, and that's pretty much what I've done here, what I'm doing is when I walk into this section before I get to the streaming level, I'm basically saying load this streaming area, or if I come down here I'm saying load this streaming area, so load streaming level and giving it a name. But when you've got a more complicated level, you've got to imagine that while I'm over here, because this is an open world, okay, if I walk through here, then I can probably see this, and I can probably see this. So this and this basically need to be streamed in at the same time as this. So I'm going to need to put a reference into them and check that they can be seen. On the other hand though, maybe this one can be seen from here, but that one can't. So the streamer needs to know that this and this are loading when you go through this gate. But when you go through this gate, only this one and this one are loading, and that one's unloading. And the reason for that is because obviously I'm trying to maintain as much memory as I can. I'm trying to use a baseline system. I know my system can manage all this. Most people, if they've got a powerful computer system, can. But I've got to think of people that don't have powerful systems. There will be people trying to play this who only have 8 gigs of RAM and maybe a less powerful graphics card. And so by swapping all the time. Now the thing is that obviously it's a lot of complex stuff for me to remember because there's so many levels. the streaming level amount in this at the minute is pretty darn high, and obviously certain things are different for certain areas. So by putting this gate in place, it means that I'm going to, one, have a very uniform look, which is what I need, because players love uniformity. You know, it's like, oh, here's a gate, it's the same gate as last time, maybe it leads somewhere, so they'll head through that gate, and while they do that, it'll load up the stuff I need, which is obviously massively important. Don't worry if that didn't make so much sense. I promise it makes sense to me. But basically what we're doing is we're kind of saying these are the parts that need to load, and these are the parts that need to unload. Now, let me just compile and save. There we go. Right, now the reason I've just changed that is because when we get over to here, okay, this is where I'm going to load up some new bits that I might need. Now because of this, as you can see, my gate is too big. Because of course it is, you know, but I can, what's the word? I can cheat, I suppose, you know, if necessary. So let me see, this gate here. Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's basically just a lot of kind of cheating as much as anything, and forcing the player to go to certain places that, you know, they may not necessarily have wanted to. There we go. I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to bring that down just so that it's kind of level. I need the player to go through this point here. Now, if I just hide all this crap, so I'll come down here and find the option, open level blueprint. It's a good question though, and thank you for asking it. Right, now, where the hell is my, here we go, level management, full gate, click. How's the weather where I am? It's bloody boiling. Yeah, it's flippin' hot, man. It is really, really, really hot. Are you in central London at the minute? Because if you're in central London, man, I feel genuinely sorry for you, because I bet it's just ridiculously hot. Like, really unpleasantly. It's 26 here. But I haven't actually connected this to anything, like a big idiot. There we go. There, that's the one. Right, so we get this kind of full gate thing going on here. Now I'm going to need some underneathy parts, otherwise it hovers, and I don't like hovers. Yeah, it was 28 the other day. Now bear in mind, obviously I live in the north of England, and 28 in the north of England is, well, it's like a hate crime. It's we can't cope with that. That's mad hot. So we did what most northern people would do, really, and hid and cried and turned red. Except for the ones that like going out and just turning themselves completely leather coloured. There's a lot of people that like going leather coloured in this weather. And you know, fair play to them. I don't. But if turning into a piece of leather is your biz, then go for it. There was a guy yesterday, and he had tats, you know, so great big chap, must have been about 6.5 feet tall, big tats. Tattoos, and I could only just tell he got tattoos because his skin was so incredibly sunburned that there was literally no way to check. There we go, that looks about right. Oh, that's a cliff. I want a cliff. Oh no, cliff. I want mossy stone wall. That's what I want. And why do I want mossy stone wall? Because I need an underside, that's why. I need the impression that this built object was indeed built. So how hot is it in London? Because, like I say, I mean, the temperature here was pretty bloody disgusting, but I suspect it's absolutely absurd. Dan safe. Where I shall be, funnily enough, in, I think September, because I'm taking my youngest to go and see one of those music concert things. Well, he's going to see it. I'm going to be hanging around Camden eating sandwiches, because that's what I like to do. I'm 49 now. The chance of me like hanging out in a band full of young, shiny people, pretty slim. Okay, let's have a look. So lit to unlit. Oh, that's better. So I now have this support wall that I didn't have before. I think this is always incredibly important, where if something's just going to be floating, then for God's sakes fix it. Okay, now, because it's still going to be floating, and this is heavily reusable, open blueprint editor. Oh wow, 29, yeah, that's still too hot, even if it feels like raw, dude. 29's too much. My mother lives in the south of France. God love her, I haven't seen her in about a year and a half because of this silly thing. And I think it's 36 where she is. Can you even imagine the temperature of 36? That would be just awful. I think I'd be getting ready to just commit crimes because that's just not nice. Okay, I need a pillar. By the way, I do talk to myself a lot, so please excuse me. There we go. Oh god, pop music, man. Can't be doing the pop music. Far too modern for my tastes. That's the weird thing, like, you know, you get to my age and it's like, all the music that you used to like. Hey, Core Activities, how's it going, my dude? Welcome aboard. All the music that I used to like is like flipping 36, Jesus. It's like gone. May Christ, my favourite musician, okay, is actually one of the world's best musicians and singers, and that's Mike Patton. Now, if you know who Mike Patton is, kudos to you. If you don't know who he is, you're obviously disgustingly young or like pop music, and that's fine. You can like pop music. I shall forgive you. But Mike Patton has a vocal range of I think 6 or 7 octaves for a start, coupled with the fact that he's the lead singer of both Mr. Bungle and what's it called again? Faith No More. Okay, and Faith No More is without a doubt my favourite band of all time. No shadow of a doubt there. Although, as well as liking our good friend Mike Patton of Faith No More, I'm also a very big fan of Mr. De La Rocha and his band Rage Against the Machine, who are, in my opinion, both awesome and hilarious in equal measure, for various reasons. Rage is a fantastic band. As for bands that I've gone to see, I'm notoriously bad at going to see bands. If I go and see a band, chances are they'll either never ever become famous, or, you know, I'll forget to go. So Faith No More's amazing, dude. You'd love Faith No More. Start with Faith No More from about the 1989-1990 period, because Faith No More is like American rap metal, and not like crap rap metal, like bloody the dude with the red hat who looks like a baby's arsehole. Proper rap metal, and yeah, you'll probably love it. Everyone likes Rage. It's good stuff, man. Good ones to start off with, like Midlife Crisis is damn good fine. Yeah, stick on Midlife Crisis, or if you want to put on the video, put on the 2009 or 2011 live show from the Download Festival, where they're wearing the red suits. Absolutely flippin' astounding. Right, let me see. I'm just... Hey son.
These aren't scissors.
Oh, if they're the crimped ones, no, they're crimping shears. Yeah, the Red Hot Chili Peppers back in the beginning were fantastic. That's before they got really appalling and started like basically becoming a pop act. I mean, people still like the Red Hots, but back in their early days when they were like really more powerful than they are now, they were fantastic.
Do you know what this is?
No, I don't. Sorry, man.
By the way, yesterday I got some straws. Do you know where they went?
Not a clue, bud. Have a look around. I'm sure they'll turn up. And no, don't worry. I don't feel offended at people, you know, not having heard music and stuff. I don't care. The trick is to listen to more music. Okay. You see, getting this gate right for me is just an absolute priority. So. Okay, level management, yeah, here. If I do that, all the bits appear. I do need some parts coming down. I'll do. And like I say, don't worry, I never feel offended. You know, it's up to you what music you like. People often say, oh, I know what I like. And I've loved FNM for, cheers buddy, like 30 years, I'd say. Maybe longer. Saw them play live once. You'll love this, right, because you're probably young. So, chances are you won't recognise many of these bands, but there was like a super band being put together. Oh no, that's fine. There was like, not a super band, sorry, there was like a real super lineup being put together where I live, up here. And so, a stadium tour. And this stadium tour was Guns N' Roses. They were the headliners. Now, Guns N' Roses were at their peak at this time, okay, bear in mind that. So they'd just released their really big, I don't think it was was it Use Your Illusion? Yeah, it was that double album, Use Your Illusion. Pattern was fantastic, dude. So they'd released Use Your Illusion, or Lose Your Illusion, or whatever the fuck it's called, and pardon my swears. And they were like riding high. They'd had like multiple #1s in the charts. So we had them as the lead. Then in support band 1 was Faith No More, who were still huge at the time anyway. Support band 2 was Chris Cornell's Soundgarden, which were also huge. And then support band 3 was, I believe, Joe Cocker and his band. I think it was Joe Cocker anyway. This was 1992. And the price of the ticket to see all 4 of these bands, which literally lasted a whole afternoon, there was about 15,000 of us there, was £20, I think. Absolutely mental. See, you're 33, you're still too young, man. Bad news. No, only joking. The band I'm taking my son to see is, I don't know how, but you found me, which he absolutely thinks is great, so fair play. I'll not be going in, because, you know, not my cup of tea, but I don't see the point in paying like £25 for a ticket for a band if I don't give a damn about them. I'm sure they're great, but someone else would probably enjoy the tickets more. Yeah, they got absolutely astoundingly rich. I mean, they were famous for their parties because they literally used to have like this medieval flippin' pageant tent or whatever the heck it was that used to go along with them, where they used to have these ridiculous parties. And like, they came out, I think it was an hour and a half late, because Axl was always famous for coming out late, you know, and no one really minded. I mean, it was pretty cool, you know, but such a strange bloody show. Yeah, man. 92. Still in a room without a view. Ooh, Rage Against the Machine lyrics. You got to know that when I say go, 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 amp up and amplify to fire, my mother with a furious vibe, action must be taken. We don't need the keyboard breaking, something must be done about victims of badging a gun, so rip the mic, rip the stage, rip the system. I was born to rage against them. Nice. Do like me a bit of Rage Against the Machine. Used to love Pearl Jam, but Pearl Jam didn't really go anywhere good, so it's a shame really. A lot of their music just became more like cowboy and western madness. I would stream some lovely Rage Against the Machine, but unfortunately I can't because, you know, people don't have a sense of humour when it comes to that. They're like, oh no, you can't do that. And then I get, you know, my channel closed down. So just imagine you're listening to it. And be very glad as well, because the music, apart from some exceptions like Rage and like Patton and all the rest of it, was uniformly terrible in 1992. I mean, in England, obviously, we had the boy band sensations rocking the charts. I believe Take That was starting to dominate, certainly. Wonderful. But we also had that Irish boy band and all the other boy bands starting to appear, which, yes. Right, new visibility. So I want to 1 minus this. Groovy. Okay, so I need to change this Boolean. I can't even imagine how much Guns N' Roses made back then. It was an awful lot though. Right, so I'm going to put a branch in here. Okay, so full gate. If the full gate thing is not true, then those. Okay, let's see how we do. So anything can change. Only use D. Anything can change. Only use D. Starting to get there. Need to get rid of these parts. So we need a flip-flop. Move that up to there. Just isolate it. Okay. Okay, so now I need to invert this part. I can tell that I'm not concentrating properly, otherwise I'd have got this right the first time. So I'm going to add a second variable into this called support. Okay, and supports is non-public. Actually no, solid supports can be public. Huh, bugger doing it by hand. Okay, you'll like this. So, I'm colourblind. I'm not only colourblind, I'm mega colourblind. Now, this does not mean I've got monochromatia at all, right? But it means that green and brown are the same to me, blue and purple, some pinks and purples, skin tones. I can't tell if someone is black unless they are. We're literally talking like Caribbean levels of black, right? It's amazing. I've got such bad saturation colourblindness. So for me, there was a real closed door for certainly doing any texturing properly for a very, very long time. Certainly for the first 13, 14 years of me being a 3D artist. But then what happened was, obviously Quicksort bought out its tools that were using samples. Now, I did consider using Substance, but Quicksort was a lot easier for me because basically it was using like PBR scans and stuff, and so I knew the colours were going to be correct. I didn't have to do anything. And so as soon as I started using PBRs, that's when kind of my whole world changed in that respect. It was a lot easier, let's put it that way. There we go. Compile and save. Now I can turn off and on supports. Perfect. Okay, so next. Full gate, not full gate, Fireflies visible or invisible, supports on, supports off. Great, lit. Okay, so now we have this gate here. So anyway, when I started using Quixel, they were still using, I think it was the early beta of NDO and then DDO. So I bought both of those, then I bought Quixel Suite when it finally came out. And then when they started crashing into, you know, doing Megascans, Mixer and stuff, that was even better as far as I was concerned. I had the pre-releases on Quixel Mixer when it very first came out, and it blew my mind, like literally. And then, which was nice of the Quixel guys, because they knew I was colourblind, so they wanted to see what my reaction was going to be to kind of using it, and whether it would be useful to me. And then after that, I've basically been using Quixel, and they got bought out by Epic. And that was so much good news, because the amount of stuff you can use for your project is just ridiculous. Thanks, man, I really appreciate that. That's actually a very kind thing to say. It's, like, my early work is mostly untextured. I mean, if I go into... Here you go, I'll show you some of the early stuff I did while I'm here. Because I have time. And also I have nothing embarrassing in my folders, because at 49, you know, the chances of me loading this up with pornography is pretty low. I can barely get enough excitement to do the gardening now. Let me have a look. My model files and assets. Here we are. So I can look at, if you look at like my early artwork, I should be able to open this with just a 3D viewer actually. There we go. I mean, I'm a 3D artist. That's what I used to be anyway. I don't really like doing 3D as much, but you can kind of see that basically all I used to do, I mean, this one's been prepped for Quixel, is I would block out the actual geometry into colour blocks, and then I'd just render using procedural. And that way it was about the only way I had that I could be sure that I was going to get kind of the light in the way that, well, the colours kind of the way that I wanted. As I moved on, I'd use more and more of kind of, firstly mental array, and then secondly I'd be using kind of any other rendering tricks I could. I used a lot of procedural stuff and edge detection. If I go to some of my other models here, just to try and show you. Yeah, this is an old one, so this is 2011. And again, it's because I didn't have any access to any colour tools. You know, so there was no way for me to colour match, because yes, you can use a dropper to see what the colour of something is, but that's no good if you don't have any perception of what green or brown or whatever like that is. Takes a while to load, don't worry, I'll leave it doing that. I've got some really nice old stuff in here that I don't really use anymore, like the Imperial Knight. Ooh, I'd forgotten about that. Let's see if that loads into my 3D viewer, shall we? I bet it doesn't. Some of them take a long time to load. What's interesting is, though, that these massive multi-poly models that I created back in the day are now able to work directly inside of Unreal Engine 5 because of, what's it called again? God, I can't remember. And I can't be asked to sit and load this. I'll show you a picture of my gallery, that'll be easier. Then you can get a good idea of just, you know, how bad it was. I'm sure I still have some stuff around. No, that's a 3D printing box. Huh. Wow, I really do not have much stuff. It's like I just got rid of it all because I was sick to death of it. Funny enough, I'd made like thousands of hours of training and done thousands of hours of like building robots and stuff, and then one day didn't want to do it anymore, and that was the end of it. Yeah, it's not there. Bugger it. Let me have a look over here and see if it's in my Dropbox. My Dropbox is huge. Oh, here we go. There, you see, that's the kind of things I used to build before I got into doing the game dev. Nanite's exciting as hell because I can just put this straight into it. Hello videos. Right, so we're gonna... Dropbox is great, by the way, because you can totally stream this stuff, which is really, really useful. I mean, I put so much detail into that, it's just bloody ridiculous, but the textures in it at the time, because this was back before I was able to use Quixel, for example, were just incredibly basic, because it was just projection mapping. Nanite's amazing. I dropped a 130 million polygon object into there and just started playing with it, and it just worked. And I mean, that's what you want, isn't it? Right, so I'm pretty sure this gate system here is going to be working the way that I want it to. So now I can tell it what to do. So let's put the gate unloaders in here. So levels to unload. So at the minute we have Cableway Island, Landscape, Lighthouse, Key, Rock Details, Large and Walkway. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our first gate to load the levels we're going to need, and then the second gate to unload levels. That way people won't go back or whatever, you know. So let me see, levels to load. What levels are we going to be able to see from here that we wouldn't have been able to see otherwise? The key. Perfect. Okay, so that means I can now hide the key, which is important. Let me see. Always loaded should most definitely not be. So right click, change streaming method to blueprint. There we go. Thanks, man. Oh man, you got the Dreadnought. Ha. Yeah, the Dreadnought, man. That was one of the first tutorials I ever made, was the Dreadnought 1, which no one really sees anymore. Then I followed it up with Dreadnought 2, which was a project for Games Workshop themselves, because I was trying to demonstrate to them like what 3D was like. Cheers, man. To be honest, I just don't like it anymore. I don't like doing hard surface stuff. I just went off it. I'll do it inside of Unreal Engine, but I just don't see the point in making models for the sake of it anymore. It just makes me sad. Okay, so level to load. So key definitely should not be loaded. Load key. Rock details, large, landscape, lighthouse. Can I see the lighthouse? Well, yeah, I probably can from a distance. It's up there. Okay, so I'll leave the lighthouse on. Everything else seems fine. Okay, so when I walk through this gate then, what's going to happen is I'm going to load the level key, like that. And I'm going to unload Cableway Island. So, but first I need to just check the Cableway Island isn't going to cause a bizarre thing. And it is, so I'll leave Cableway Island. And streaming method, yeah, just keep that loaded. The breakers can stay loaded. So all that's happened is, as they walk through this slot here, it's going to load the key. Without that, the key will not be loaded. And if I press simulate to check, I just actually released a tutorial. Jesus Christ! I just released a tutorial I actually made about 3 or 4 years ago that never saw the light of day. Hang on a sec. I don't really care if anyone buys it or not. It's just there, you know. Message log. Turn that right down. I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, materials and text in it is fantastic fun. Like, it's so enjoyable. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's not loaded. That is awesome. Go over here then. So with that done, now I can do another piece, which is I need a gate here. And the gate here is going to do some more load and unload. So content, gate loader, dismiss, dismiss. The problem with this is I'll have to test it by turning off the damage on a... Oh god, yeah, that's really enjoyable and a little bit aspy, you know. Well, they call it autistic now. Wife's autistic, so go fig. Right, I love lining things up, making it work. Gate loader, here we are. So let's put our gate loader here. Now the trick is that we want our gate loader to be something that you can't not go through. So we don't want them to avoid going through the gate loader at all. Also, I think it's kind of important that this belongs to our persistent level. So move selected actors to level. Otherwise, it's going to cause us more than a few problems. Photoshop's great. I mean, I use Photoshop now all the time. I didn't used to, you know, but now I do, and I really like Photoshop a lot. Mainly because obviously it's exactly as useful as it needs to be. And there's a lot of tools in there that are built for, like, you know, people that are just aren't very good with colour. You would be surprised. Okay, so here's another gate. Just there. And what's this gate going to do? Right, so Fireflies visible, yes. Full gate, no. Supports, yes. It makes a nice difference when you put those in. Click out. Okay, and as I go through here, isn't this exciting? As I go through here, what's going to be loaded? Well, we probably are going to see the engine room over there. So I'm going to load that. So if I select this, and notice I've got the arrow so I know which way I'm going. So levels to load, and there's the engine room, just so that we can see it. And do I have anything that I need to unload at the minute? Well, I don't want to unload Cableway Island just yet. Or do I actually, if I'm stepping through? That might not be a bad idea. I think I'll unload Cableway Island further down here so that it's not seen. So the engine room now is being loaded in. Unloading, landscape no, crypt no, cableway no, breakers no, key no, rock details no, walkway no. Great. Okay, so now what we're doing is, I'll put a note here. Section 1, day start on island. So, exit first part of walkway, load key. Enter second part of walkway, load engine room so we can see it. Exit second part of walkway, unload Connors Rock or whatever it is, Cableway Island. And load. Doesn't we need to load anything there? I just need to unload Cableway Island. So, if I come over here, there's plenty of lovely hazards to keep people busy, which is good. So as you step off here, which is going to be about there, just want to make sure that this is going to work. Okay, and I'm going to put my supports in and some Fireflies again, just to make sure the player is attracted over here. And because of that, I probably don't need this. Okay, as long as the player can see good old Malin over here, it doesn't matter. And he's rotating to face. And yes, I do talk about everything I'm doing when I'm doing it. Now then, see that? I don't want anyone getting off the edge here. That's really important to me. So, volumes. Blocking. It's a cheat, I know. Well, it's not even a cheat. Okay, this is like literally something you have to do. But, I don't want anyone stepping off here. Okay, because they'll get killed if they try and do it anywhere else. But here, it's a little bit close. So I'm just going to basically do that and just stop them from going that way. Now I want to be careful because I don't want to stop people just doing their general exploration. I don't want them doing that. By the way, if you're viewing on Steam, hello, how are you? I hope you are well. I stream to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, my own website, which is cgpirates.com, and to Steam. So, you know, don't feel shy. If you want to say hello, I would love to hear from you, because I think you're all splendid people. And a lot of the time I can't see the chat. If it's in Steam, for example, I don't think I can see it from here without opening about 9 windows. So just a warning. But you know, if you've got anything you want to ask me, just shoot me an email to chris@3dpilots.com, or you know, drop into my Discord. I'm always happy to see people there. I'm not trying to get any money out of you. I just want to say hello. Okay, so we're exiting the second part of the walkway. So level to unload, and we're going to unload Cableway Island. So okay, so that's going to unload Cableway Island when we go that way. Oh, dear me. Now if we need Cableway Island loaded again at some point, we can just flip-flop it and tell this one to load Cableway Island when we go through. So let's just say that, you know, for whatever reason, if you've walked all the way over here and Cableway Island isn't loaded yet, we could just build a function into this one. So let's say level to load, add a plus on it, Cableway Island. So if you go back, it's going to reload Cableway Island now. Okay, there'll be a little bit of pop-up at the minute, but that's just the positioning. And to be honest, if it's dark enough, we'll not see anything. Okay, let's continue over this way. Now, when we come down here, the key's been made visible, I believe, by our gate. Engine room, Cableway Island. Our key was made visible, I think, at the first gate over there. Yeah, it was. That's loaded the engine room. I'm also going to put a load marker in here, and yes, I talk a lot. I've got a lot of Google Docs that I use for this. Unload Cableway Island. And then as I get over here, now this is where things get interesting, because you know, once we get up here to the engine room, all sorts of additional things have to load up. So this is where the engine room would be if it was loaded. Ah, you're watching on YouTube. Cool. Well, at least the YouTube one comes through here. I don't think it shows me that you're one of the statistical viewers of what I'm doing, but at least it's showing me that you're there. So hello, how are you? Yeah, the thing is, because I'm using Streamlabs, I think it only picks up the conversation from oh, what do you call it? That's oh, Twitch. What's it? Twitch. So right. So here we can see we've got some pretty snazzy, pointy things to walk down and try not to kill yourself with. Got my fence here. Yeah, good. And then down here. This is where you have to go. So let me see, let's put a gate down here. And there is our blueprint gate loader. Now the trick is to get it so that it looks like it's going to fit here. If you want people going through it, and ideally not plummeting to their deaths, which you can do quite easily in this, and I don't want people doing that because it will make them sad. Okay, so okay, that goes there and there. So this way at least people know which way they're supposed to be going. And Fireflies visible, yep, why not? Supports, yes. Full gate, no. Actually no, sod it, why not? Full gate. So no supports. Makes a nice difference. Okie dokie, so what's going to happen with this gate? In this gate, I am going to... Well, I've unloaded Cableway Island, etc, etc, etc over there. So I think at this point I'm going to unload the engine room, because I don't really need to see it at the minute. So, level to unload, here we go. Engine room. Okay. So this is going to unload the engine room as we go through here. Is there anything else I needed to unload? Well, I don't need to unload the walkway, at least I don't think I do. The Cableway Island is already unloaded. Pathways. Now let's have a look at pathways. That's kind of important. I don't think we need the pathways yet because we're not up there. Okay, that's fine. So all I'm doing is I'm unloading the engine room because we can't see it. Now Malin's already said you need to go down here, okay, to go and get some stuff. So if you go down here and look for your stuff, which you will eventually find with a little bit of searching around, then we need to start heading back up to the engine room with said stuff. So we're going to build a gate. I'm going to put it here. And change its direction. Turn lit off. The reason I'm turning it unlit off is so that I can scratch my leg because it was itchy. Is so that I can do some adjustments to this, just see what's happening, because you know there's a lot of stuff here. What I need is I need a player to go through this gate without even really thinking about it. Put supports on. See, if I put supports on, that kind of ruins it a bit. Which is a shame. However, I need them to go through this, so I'm going to sink it a bit. There, that looks a bit better. Alright, so if they're going through here, the engine room will definitely need to be loaded. So exiting Malik's area. What's up? What's up, buddy? Hello? So I'm going to load up the engine room. Do I need to unload anything? Let's look behind us. I don't think I'll unload the key. So I'll probably load the walkway, we'll see. So levels to unload, levels to load, engine room. There we go. And yeah, there are people that are going to try and like bounce around this and like play with stuff, and that's up to them. I don't mind. You can do what you want, you know. Okay, so we go through here. This is going to load engine room. By the time we get up here, it will be loaded. This belongs to engine room. There we go. Put that up there. Anything can change on New Year's Day. Everything changed on New Year's Day. Okay, so let's just do a quick right click play from here. Right, so this was a load trigger that I just went into. Would you like a cuppa? I'm going to say that's a yes then. That's me. Thank you, Thorn. I'm just waiting for the kettle to boil. I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. Okay, that's working. Right, I'm going to pause for the moment and I'll put a little note for myself on my cello. Yes, darling.